It's part of an experiment that shows a pretty shocking mistake that any one of us could make. A mistake where you don't notice what's happening right in front of your eyes. As well as a fight, the experiment also involves a chase. It was inspired by an incident in Boston in 1995, when a young police officer, Kenny Conley, was in hot pursuit of a murder suspect.
It turned out that this police officer, while he was chasing the suspect, had run right past some other police officers who were beating up another suspect, which of course police officers are not supposed to do under any circumstances. When the police tried to investigate this case of police brutality, he said, "I didn't see anything going on there. All I saw was the suspect I was chasing." And nobody could believe this, and he was prosecuted for perjury and obstruction of justice.
Everyone was convinced that Conley was lying.
We don't want you to be, closer than about...
Everyone, that is, apart from Chris Chabris. He wondered if our ability to pay attention is so limited that any one of us could run past a vicious fight without even noticing. And it's something he's putting to the test.
And when you see someone jogging across the footbridge, then you should get started. Jackie, you can go.
In the experiment, the subjects are asked to focus carefully on a cognitive task. They must count the number of times the runner taps her head with each hand. Would they, like the Boston police officer, be so blinded by their limited attention that they would completely fail to notice the fight?
About 45 seconds or a minute into the run, there was the fight. And they could actually see the fight from a ways away, and it was about 20 feet away from them when they got closest to them.
The fight is right in their field of view, and at least partially visible from as far back as the footbridge. It seems incredible that anyone would fail to notice something so apparently obvious.
They completed the 3-minute course, and then we said, "Did you notice anything unusual?"
Yes.
What was it?
It was a fight.
Sometimes they would have noticed the fight, and they would say, "Yeah, I saw some guys fighting." But a large percentage of people said, "We didn't see anything unusual at all." And when we asked them specifically about whether they saw anybody fighting, they still said no.
In fact, nearly 50% of people in the experiment completely failed to notice the fight.
Did you see anything unusual during the run?
No.
Okay. Did you see some people fighting?
No.
We did it at nighttime and we did it in the daylight. Even when we did it in daylight, many people ran right past the fight and didn't notice it at all. Did you see anything unusual during the run?
No, not really.
Okay. Did you see some people fighting?
No.
You really didn't see anyone fighting?
No.
Does it surprise you that you could have missed that? They were about 20 feet off the path.
Oh, yeah,
You ran right past them.
completely missed that then.
Okay. Maybe what happened to Conley was when you're really paying attention to one thing and focusing a lot of mental energy on it, you can miss things that other people are going to think are completely obvious. And in fact, that's what the jurors said after Conley's trial. They said, "We couldn't believe that he could miss something like that. It didn't make any sense. He had to have been lying."
It's an unsettling phenomenon called inattentional blindness that can affect us all.
Some people have said things like, "This shatters my faith in my own mind," or "Now I don't know what to believe," or "I'm going to be confused from now on." But I'm not sure that that feeling really stays with them very long. They are going to go out from the experiment, walk to the next place they're going or something like that, and they're going to have just as much inattentional blindness when they're walking down the street that afternoon as they did before.
This experiment reveals a powerful quandary about our minds. We glide through the world blissfully unaware of most of what we do and how little we really know our minds. For all its brilliance, the part of our mind we call ourselves is extremely limited. So how do we manage to navigate our way through the complexity of daily life? Every day, each one of us makes somewhere between 2 and 10,000 decisions.
When you think about our daily lives, it's really a long, long sequence of decisions. We make decisions probably at a frequency that is close to the frequency we breathe.
Every minute, every second, you're deciding where to move your legs and where to move your eyes and where to move your limbs. And when you're eating a meal, you're making all kinds of decisions.
And yet the vast majority of these decisions we make without even realizing. It was Danny Kahneman's insight that we have two systems in the mind for making decisions. Two ways of thinking, fast and slow.
You know, our mind has really two ways of operating, and one is sort of fast thinking, an automatic, effortless mode, and that's the one we're in most of the time.
This fast, automatic mode of thinking he called System 1. It's powerful, effortless, and responsible for most of what we do.
And System 1 is, you know, that's what happens most of the time. You're there, the world around you provides all kinds of stimuli, and you respond to them. Everything that you see and that you understand, you know, this is a tree, that's a helicopter back there, that's a Statue of Liberty. All of this visual perception, all of this comes through System 1.
The other mode is slow, deliberate, logical, and rational. This is System 2, and it's the bit you think of as you, the voice in your head.
The simplest example of the two systems is really 2 plus 2 is on one side and 17 times 24 is on the other.
What is 2 plus 2? 4.
4.
Fast System 1 is always in gear, producing instant answers.
And what's 2 plus 2?
4.
A number comes to your mind.
4.
4.
4.
It is automatic. You do not intend for it to happen. It just happens to you. It's almost like a reflex.
And what's 22 times 17? Ooh, that's a good one.
But when we have to pay attention to a tricky problem, we engage slow but logical System 2.
If you can do that in your head, you'll have to follow some rules and to do it sequentially. And that is not automatic at all. That involves work, it involves effort, it involves concentration.
22 times 17.
There will be physiological symptoms. Your heart rate will accelerate, your pupils will dilate, so many changes will occur while you're performing this computation.
3. God. That's so 220 and 7 times 22 is 374.
Okay. And can I get you to just walk with me for a second?
Okay.
Who's the current president?
System 2 may be clever, but it's also slow, limited, and lazy.
I live in Berkeley during summers and I walk a lot. And when I walk very fast, I cannot think.
Can I get you to count backwards from 100 by 7?
Sure.
193, 80. It's hard when you're walking.
It takes up, interestingly enough, the same kind of executive function as thinking.
44.
If you are expected to do something that demands a lot of effort, you will stop, even walking.
86.
51.
16, 9, 2.
Everything that you're aware of in your own mind is part of this slow, deliberative System 2. As far as you're concerned, it is the star of the show.
Actually, I describe System 2 as not the star. I describe it as a minor character who thinks he is the star, because in fact, most of what goes on in our mind is automatic. You know, it's in the domain that I call System 1.
System 1 is an old, evolved bit of our brain, and it's remarkable. We couldn't survive without it because System 2 would explode. If Mr. Spock had to make every decision for us, it would be very slow and effortful, and our heads would explode.
And this vast, hidden domain is responsible for far more than you would possibly believe.
Having an opinion, you have an opinion immediately, whether you like it or not, whether you like something or not, whether you're for something or not. liking someone or not liking them. That quite often is something you have no control over. Later, when you're asked for reasons, you will invent reasons. And a lot of what System 2 does is it provides reason, it provides rationalizations, which are not necessarily the true reasons for our beliefs and our emotions and our intentions and what we do.
You have two systems of thinking that steer you through life. Fast, intuitive System 1 that is incredibly powerful and does most of the driving. And slow, logical System 2 that is clever, but a little lazy. Trouble is, there's a bit of a battle between them as to which one is driving your decisions. And this is where the mistakes creep in. When we use the wrong system to